Love to watch Pat White because he's supposed to follow the guard that's coming around, but he has such good vision that he cuts it back. He doesn't even need his pulling guard to be able to end up finding the hole. Well, you really see the instincts from Pat White in running this offense. He's tailor-made for Rich Rodriguez's offense.
From the 40, fake into the belly. He keeps it and gets about 9 yards, taken down by Scott McKillop in for HB Blades. Let's watch here White for a second. I'll tell you how he's come to be the start of the last 3 games.
And the conditions of the field, I think, favor the offensive players because they know where they're going to cut. Watch the linebacker Sessions here freeze for a second. Not only the move by White, but I think it was also the footing and how tough it is on these difficult conditions for the defense to react to a fast running back or quarterback.
White already over 100 yards, 6 carries as you see for 105. A big one for 47 set up the touchdown on the last drive. Run with the big popular Owen Schmidt, a fullback who transferred from Wisconsin River Falls, a Division III school. He had no Division I scholarship offers, so Schmidt played at the same school as Jim Leonard, the very good Wisconsin player. He was at that same school for a year and then went to Wisconsin and had a terrific Big Ten career. Same situation. Schmidt sent out his video after not getting any D1 offers out of high school. Rich Rodriguez loved it, brought him in here, and he's really been a fullback slash tailback to add a little punch and power to this spread offense. First and 10 for the 46. White taking his time as he tosses it out to Darius Renault from Louisiana, who gets to the 43, gain of about 3. So, Kirk, I want to talk about the quarterback situation. Adam Bednarik was the starting quarterback for a good part of this season. Really, Rich Rodriguez said we have co-starters in Bednarik and Pat White right from the start. But White emerged as Bednarik kept getting beat up and injuries, starting with his shoulder in the offseason on through his knee and foot especially, kept him out of the lineup. White has come in and really taken over this offense and given it a little more big play threat. That's why he is the guy. Freshman Steve Slayton runs to the 41. We'll have 3rd and 5 coming up.
And Adam Bednarik, as the co-starter, has a great feel for the game. My question was, how come Pat White, it's not his team, it's not his offense yet? And Rich Rodriguez said, well, Adam Bednarik has a great feel for the game. He's a sophomore. He's got some experience with the offense, but I think as time goes on, it's going to be tough to hold back Pat White from eventually seizing this offense in this offseason and becoming the leader.
3rd and 5 options. Slayton, can he get to the edge? Delivers the blow and a first down. Sam Bryant, the strong safety, came up, thought he was going to stop Slayton. But at 185 pounds, Steve carried a punch and carried the safety across the first down marker.
One thing about the receivers here, that you're going to get your chance to make a play here and there, but you better be willing to make a block. And number 2, Renaud definitely does that on 3rd and 5. Slayton shows some power and getting to the outside, but blocking on the perimeter in this offense is just as important as Pat White making great plays with his feet. You have to be able to block on the edge.
From the 35, Slayton again. Can't squeeze out of the hole, but still, this is like 6-7 yards a pop here on first down. And come back to the spread, Kirk. You started talking about this the last drive. We associate the spread with the 5 wide receivers throwing the ball and now the ability to run. But they're running the ball 3/4 of the time in this spread offense, and they are just as effective as they were throwing it 3/4.
Well, I think Rich Rodriguez needs more credit than he really gets when it comes to the birth of the spread offense, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Slayton, 20, 15, and to the 12. Now they are putting on a running clinic right now. They've run 17 times for 163 yards in the first 12 and a half minutes tonight.
Here's a read for the zone. Watch the stretch play, just getting it to the outside. This is where Slayton's getting more and more comfortable. The offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage. And as they stretch that defense towards the line of scrimmage, it's up to Slayton to stretch it and then find that seam and hit it hard. And that's what he's getting better and better at each game.
1st and 10. Here he is again. Down to the 5-yard line. This is a clinic offensively right now.
Well, they're mixing it up, and they're throwing some power in with the stretch and with the option game. Now, Rich Rodriguez, the reason I say he needs more credit is he is the guy, if you go back to the mid-90s, and really when he got to Tulane with Tommy Bowden as an offensive coordinator, Sean King had all those yards down at Tulane throwing the football. Then he went to Clemson, had Woody Dantzler and threw the football. And all of a sudden, he got to West Virginia, and he's used to throwing the ball, but then he starts to spread people out and run the ball and have a lot of success that way.
2nd and 3. White turns it, runs in. Touchdown, West Virginia.
Mike, keep in mind that Pat White, through almost the first quarter, has attempted 3 passes. You would think, you know what, we're going to defend this running game. We're going to put 9 guys up the line of scrimmage.
10 guys, 16.
Put everybody up. Don't let them run. But they mix it up so well and make it so hard to defend this offense because you don't know where it's coming from. They have balance within their running game. There's the stretch play, there's the zone read, there's the power. They do everything. It makes it tough to lock in on where it's coming from.
Out of the hold of 4-year holder Greg Schell, McAfee adds the extra point. West Virginia's run for 176 yards in this first quarter.
Watch Salette, the defensive end. He's thinking, okay, they're running the ball. They're in the eye. Slayton, here they come. They're going to come down underneath. And there he is. He's come down inside. He's taken the bite. He's taken the bait, rather. And now to the outside. Pat White has the option. You want to throw it in, try to squeeze it in, or you want to do what you do best and look like Michael Vick, get to the outside and dive in for an easy touchdown.
And it's interesting because we've seen this offense be a throwing offense over the years, but now is this looks like they turned on the snowmaking machine at a ski resort, the way the puffy white snow is blowing in with these 50-mile-an-hour southwesterly winds. Now they're running the ball so effectively, and on this night, this really poor weather night, what an advantage to have a dominant run game. And add to that the slippery field and the ability of these runners to cut so well.
Here's what's happening right now in this game. West Virginia is dominating the line of scrimmage with their offensive line. The defense can walk 8 or 9 guys up, but because of the respect of Pat White scrambling and improvising, you have to be careful of overcommitting. And then when you hand it off to Slayton, he's got the speed to make you pay for it to the outside. So there's enough speed there and enough variations within that running game, along with the domination up front, that makes it very difficult right now, especially with HB Blades out, for this Pitt defense to try to control.
He has come back out of the locker room. I believe this kick is into the wind based on the way the snow is blowing. The wind can really swirl in this stadium. So that was a smart kick. To bounce it on the ground back to Larod Stevens-Howling, who takes it from the 12, got stuck at the 25-yard line. Big hit by Abraham Jones on special teams. Well, it's Thanksgiving weekend, so college football on ABC tomorrow. A couple of traditional Big 12 matchups. Texas trying to take the next step toward the national championship game against Texas A&M. And then in Boulder, Nebraska against Colorado. If the Buffs win, they will represent the North in the Big 12 championship game. College football doubleheader tomorrow on ABC.
Texas wins by 40, and Colorado clinches an opportunity to get to the Big 12 title game against that Texas team.
You sneaking in a pick without game day?
It's tomorrow.
Not so fast, freezing cold style. Rashad Jennings with a run. He gets across the 31, gain of 4. Now, we have the windows open, so we have some issues with the weather, but nothing like Aaron Andrews, right, EA?
Talk about domination. What is Mother Nature doing right now, guys? In the past 5 minutes, the wind has picked up, the snow has picked up, and the crowd has gotten louder because as the snow started to fall, they could just see it, and they've gotten louder. So this should be interesting.
It took EA an hour and a half to get dressed for this game.
Gosh. I don't think it's impossible.
A suit. I mean.
It's impossible to be warm. 2nd and 6. Jennings, the freshman. Nice job of patience across the 40 and to the 42-yard line. David Walker is the running backs coach, and he was telling me on the field before the game that Rashad Jennings and Larod Stevens-Howling, 2 freshman running backs, really going to build into something good over time, he thinks.
Like 14-7. Let's face it, unless HB Blades is able to come back, It's going to be tough for Pitt's defense to slow down West Virginia at this point. It goes back to Tyler Palko. What can he do? How can he get his team a chance to put points on the board and try to stay with Pat White?
A first down toss. It is a screen. Hauled in by Stevens Howling. Nice job to get it to midfield and a couple of yards shy of the first down. So for all the conversation of it's freezing cold, tough to move the footballs, you got to do it on the ground. We have over 300 yards and 21 points here in this first quarter.
See, that's why I don't necessarily buy the fact that this kind of weather affects the offense. I was on the field before the game talking with Rich Rodriguez and some of the coaches, and I really believe that it's the defense that's affected because you're reacting and the field is slick. And when you know where you're going as an offense, you can position your body weight accordingly, and the defense cannot. They got to react.
Little confusion there as I think the center thought the defensive line was coming in, so he was trying to get the offside. But Joe Villani unable to draw the flag. Palko falls on the fumble, and the first quarter comes to an end. We'll have 3rd and 3 coming up when we come back. The Backyard Brawl, 2005. Both teams needed for the postseason. Mountaineers up 7. Happy Thanksgiving. College football primetime presented by Cooper Tires. We welcome you back to Morgantown, West Virginia. The Mountaineers leading the 98th Backyard Brawl 14-7. It's a quick drive down I-79 south from Pittsburgh to get down here. That is one of the greatest players in West Virginia history. One of the great West Virginians of all time, Sam Huff, who just had his jersey number 75 retired in between quarters. The second quarter begins with a Tyler Palko run for a first down into Mountaineer territory at the 47. This was during the first quarter. Second quarter break. Sam 75 being retired. It's part of a huge weekend here in Morgantown. On Saturday, the logo, Jerry West, will have his 44 retired as well. They just had not retired numbers as part of the policy, and they've decided to change that. No two greater individuals to do that than Sam Huff and Jerry West. We'll visit with Sam later on in our broadcast tonight. Palko, 1st and 10, getting time to throw. Derek Kinder catches that. Only a gain of 2 as Michael Lorello out of Powell, Ohio, playing his final game at home. He's a senior. Makes the tackle.
Mike, we've talked about the 3-3 stack and how they like to move things around and how they try to show you different looks. Sam Huff would have loved this defense because it gives you options. Here they're just going to rush 3. Look at all these defenders back. 8 guys they're dropping. Now the next play, same alignment, they may blitz 5 guys. It keeps Tyler Palko on that offensive line guessing on what's going to happen from play to play.
Still a nice drive. Pittsburgh trying to tie the game. We've had touchdowns on the last 3 drives as Rashad Jennings runs it into the short side for a gain of a couple. Eric Wicks and Boo McLean made the tackle. Kevin McLean is his official name. His nickname is Boo. His grandmother nicknamed him Boo because he liked to play peekaboo as a kid. Pretty better than Pete.
Yeah,
Pete
I like Boo.
didn't sound good.
Boo works.
Yeah.
And Boo's had a great year this year.
150 career tackles. First career interception. Let's see if he makes a play on 3rd and 5. Palko throws. It is caught for the first down by Lee. So they just drove the DBs far enough to come up and make the catch. Defensive question for Pittsburgh. What about HB Blades? Here's Aaron.
Guys, HB Blades did come out to the field. We were told he just went back inside. They did x-rays, it turns out, on that left ankle. Not sure what those x-rays said. I was told he's going to get more during the half. What I'm told is it doesn't look like he'll come back, but they'll make a decision after halftime. Mike?
Okay, Aaron, defense going to need something. If you're just joining us, West Virginia ran it for 175 yards in the first quarter. But here comes another response from the Panthers. They've taken it to the Mountaineer 35, and this one will back up by 5.
A head start there by Charles Spencer.
False start. on the offense. Number 56, 5-yard penalty, remains first.